And Annette, a beautiful day to be outside on this Friday as we're looking at a live picture outside of downtown. Currently, the number coming in at 70 degrees. That is already above average. Milder weather up ahead this weekend. Details coming up with your first alert forecast.
Now and take a live look at downtown LA. You see it there, nice and sunny. Meteorologist Melissa Magee is here. She's tracking those conditions for us. We've had a little bit of everything, Melissa, this week.
We did, Annabelle, and we are so happy it is Friday because we've got some great weather to enjoy. Outside we go. We're looking live right now at Long Beach. You can see mostly sunny sky at this hour. Currently for the water, we're coming in at 65. Average high for us this time of year is about 68 degrees. So a lot of numbers later on today will actually be near or a little bit above average, and that trend is going to continue even as we head into our upcoming weekend. So looking at the numbers this morning, 50s and 60s, 52 for Lancaster, 55 in Victorville. It's cold in Big Bear this morning, and at 46, upper 60s for Thousand Oaks and Van Nuys, holding at 70 for the Basin and 66 degrees currently in Santa Ana and Orange County. So satellite and radar showing the big picture and what's going on. We've got this jet stream lifted all the way up to the north, so no wet weather coming our way really for the next 7 days. We've got this ridge of high pressure that's out in the Pacific. It's working its way inland. This is really going to amplify and blossom as we go throughout the next few days, especially into next week. And you are going to feel it in terms of the numbers and the temperatures that will be on the way. But for the rest of our Friday, sunny and mild, a little breezy in spots. Good news, the wind advisory we had early yesterday has since expired, so we're looking good for the rest of today. 72 in West Covina this afternoon. Van Nuys in at 71. We've got 62 in Victorville, lower 70s for Lake Elsinore, as well as Riverside and Temecula later on today, maxing out at 72. So we'll talk about the weather headlines and what we can expect. It's a quiet finish to our work week today. Still watching out for high tides and rip currents right along the coast right for your Saturday morning. High tide time is really between 8 and 10 o'clock in the morning, so a lot of pooling of the water if you're close to the shoreline here. A milder weekend up ahead Saturday and Sunday, and then turning much warmer as we get into next week. The 70s and the 80s are back. In fact, I want to show you the temperature trend for Van Nuys today and Saturday. Look at the numbers. We'll be in the lower 70s. And then once we get into Sunday, that really marks the beginning of the warming trend. 76 degrees by Sunday. And then look at this. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we've got numbers back up into the lower 80s. The peak days to watch will be Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So here's your forecast for the Basin today. And at 71 degrees, 66 for the coast. As we head into our Friday, bright and sunny all the way through our weekend. We'll warm it up slowly as we head into our Sunday. Then the 70s and the lower 80s are returning as we get into next Tuesday and into our Wednesday. So a lot of December warmth headed our way, and really into next week, we look to stay dry. No major storms coming into Southern California. 72 today for the valleys. We've got the same thing for the Inland Empire. 75 for the valleys and even the IE up to 77 by Sunday. 80s are returning as we head into next week. 62 for the high desert today. 74 for the low desert. You can see the trend. It remains the same even for the desert communities. Tuesday and Wednesday will warm it up into the 70s for the high desert, the 80s on the way for the low desert. Mountains looking good, bright and sunny this afternoon. A high temperature coming in at 50, and then the upper 50s, and eventually I'm hearing 60s on the way as we head into our Tuesday and into our Wednesday. That is a look at your forecast. Annabelle, back over to you.
Can't complain, Melissa.